Good. Hi there. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. If you can hear us, say hello.
Oh no.
Oh, hi. Just pop in the message, just pop in the chat where you're from or what your name is even, because I've just got you as iPhone, so then I can say hello by name rather than.
Where did I find the chat? There it is.
How's my lighting there? Is that all right?
Yeah, I can see you.
Good, that's good.
Oh, okay.
Good.
All right.
Ready. So we're just going to do a few sweet things today. We've if someone else jumps in, I'll let them in. But my name's Lyndall. I'm from Team Sapphire, and I've got the lovely Vicki with me today. Vicki's going to start us off. We're going to do a bit of a naughty nice theme. We've got the chocolate sweet potato slice first, so we'll start with that, and Vicki's going to start with that. And what I'm going to do is follow through on my screen here so that you can see everything up close. So I'll just unpin myself. But welcome, thank you for joining us. And if I can work out what I'm trying to do here. Add spotlight. And add spotlight. There we go, Vicki. So you can start.
Okay, so welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm just going to get straight into it, but I thought I'd just give you a little information. The reason that I'm really interested in doing this particular recipe, the chocolate sweet potato slice, is because for myself, I'm actually gluten-free and I have like a whole host of allergies that I'm not going to bore you with. But so for me personally, I like to try a lot of the recipes that, you know, cater more to my particular dietary needs. And I thought it might be fun to show, you know, different sides of, you know, how useful the Thermomix can be for people who have special diets as well. So I'm just going to get started. I have not made this recipe before, so I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out. Okay, so we're going to start cooking. And it says 500 grams of water. So I'm just going to pour that in. Okay, so pour the 500 grams in, then we're going to click next, and we're going to be using the Varoma today to cook our sweet potato. So I'm going to grab the Varoma, and I just realised I don't have the lid to my jug. Okay, so we're going to pop the lid on without the measuring cup. And we're going to pop the Varoma into position like so. And we're going to put the sweet potato just in the top of the Varoma. And that was asking for 250 grams of sweet potato. And we're going to put 150 grams of red apple. I didn't have red apple, I had green. So I figure it'll do the same thing. And then we're just going to pop the lid on. Like that. And I have 25 minutes of cooking. I'm going to do that now. And it's off. I don't know if that's what you can see
right.
on Lyndall's machine. Yeah.
Perfect. So if you've just joined us, Vicky's just popped her sweet potato and her apple into the varoma, and we're just going to steam that with some water in the bottom, so for 25 minutes. So what I'm going to do is come back to me, because we've now got 25 minutes to kill. So I am going to that down a little bit. Sorry, just trying to make my view okay for you all. So what we're going to do is do some. Now I have to remember what I am cooking. Individual vanilla cakes with raspberry jam topping. Now this is our bit of our naughty offering today. So I am, unlike Vicky, I don't have many dietary requirements for myself. My son does, but I don't. And I do love a good cake. But today we're going to make a steamed, so someone can't hear. If you just, you might just have to join through there's a little thing that pops up that says join through, what does it say? Join through, maybe, so if you just click on where it says mute or unmute, if you click next to it, you can go through there and get to the audio settings, and hopefully that'll work. Otherwise, if you leave and come back, I'll let you in. Okay, she's working it out. Oh, she can't hear me. That's no good detailing them. Vicki, can you just write that in the chat, please? Okay. Anyway, so individual vanilla cakes with raspberry jam topping. All right, so get started. Okay, so what I've got is these ramekins here. Now, they're not ramekins, they're little silicone molds, but this actually is designed to fit right in the varoma. So this will fit in the varoma in the bottom, and then I've got the other ones, which I'm not going to be using today, but this fits on the tray in the top. So you can get, there's 1, 2, 3, there is 7 in the bottom and 6 in the top. So you can get 13, is that terrible with maths, little cakes in the varoma at once, which is pretty impressive. I've already greased them, so I've already done that step. Now, I don't know if you can see that screen very well. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm going to insert my butterfly whisk. And then pop some unsalted butter in, which I've got there. I've cut it into pieces, but I'm actually going to make sure that it's on either side of the butterfly, so it's not just all on the one side. 70 grams of caster sugar. There. And then I also popped in there 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar. All right, so I'm going to pop this in here, the lid on. Any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat or yell them out. But I'm going to cream my butter and sugar now. So 40 seconds on speed 3. Right, so if you can hear me over the Thermomix, pop in the chat where you're from. Maybe whether you're in lockdown or not. All right, so that's done there. Asking you to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl with a spatula. So once again, very simple because it's telling me exactly what it needs to do. Already the butter is quite light and definitely lighter in colour, a bit fluffier. All right, now I'm going to add 2 eggs. All right, and we're going to pop that lid back on. And 30 seconds again.
Queanbeyan's still in lockdown, yes. I feel for you. My brother's actually in Yass, so they have 4 kids, 2 that are in high school, and my sister-in-law's been homeschooling, obviously, for most of the term, and they got let out on the Friday of lockdown, and then they got put back in on the Sunday before the kids even got back to school. Oh, dear.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know, she wasn't very happy because she's got the 2 little ones as well, so 2 under 2 and then 2 in high school. It's a bit of a juggle, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to remove my butterfly whisk now. That's a nice pale yellow colour now. Everything's mixed together really well. It doesn't tell me to scrape down the sides. I'm just doing that. There you go. It is telling me that. It's just a step ahead of myself. All right, so 90 grams of plain flour, not the gluten-free variety because, once again, we don't need that. Not in this house anyway. I did actually do some gluten-free cooking the last couple of days though. My sister-in-law is gluten-free and so is my father-in-law. I mean, it was her 30th birthday, so I made a couple of different things gluten-free for her. So 20 grams of milk there. And a teaspoon of baking powder. And that's my son you can hear in the background. He's woken up from his nap.
I do have to say though, the gluten-free food with the cookie dough is pretty good.
It is, and honestly, I one of the little cakes that I made, so I'm just turning that on again. One of the cakes I made was an almond cake with a white chocolate topping. And look, it wasn't healthy by any means, there was lots of sugar in it, but it was really tasty. One of them didn't come out of the container as it should have, or out of the tin as it should have, so I kept it here. I was like, oh, I'm not gifting that away when it looks like it's been mangled. But I tasted it myself and I was like, oh man, I'm going to make that one again. It was really good. All right, so finish mixing with the spatula. So that's probably just not to over mix the dough. Well, the mixture probably is not what it is. All right. And then, now what I was meant to do at the start, which I actually didn't do, was put my jam into my ramekins there. So I'm going to do that now, which I do have here. I've got some raspberry jam there. So I'll just pop some in the bottom of each of those now. It everywhere. Nothing like a messy cook, is there? Even though you've got a Thermomix, you can still make mess.
Is that one of the baking trays from the silicone baking trays from
Mixture? It is, yeah. So this is the one that fits in the Varoma, which is really great.
Oh,
so I'm just going to pop this through into each one there, hopefully without making too much mess, but you know. It doesn't have to be perfect, does it? Especially when you're just eating it yourself. It's funny, we've been out of lockdown for since Thursday, I think it was, wasn't it, Vicki? And all I've done since then is Zoom meetings.
You think we would have done them while we were locked down, but
well, we were just continuing on with the trend, and look, who knows? Tomorrow we could be back in lockdown, so we'll just
Very true.
It is
And
handy.
enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, absolutely. It is handy to be able to do things at home though. You know, we only organised this. When did we organise this? Was it yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yep.
Can definitely get things done quickly. How long have you got on your steaming process there, Vicki?
I have 14 minutes.
Cool. So I've actually got another treat for you that I decided to add on, purely because it's another one of the ones that I have made sort of for a more health conscious cooking experience that I did. It was actually probably over a year ago now. And they're the coconut beetroot balls. And, you know, I am a bit of a background. I am a chef's daughter, so you know, things that are lacking in an ingredient or like they're health conscious things, I'm usually a little bit skeptical. But I made these and I tried them because well, you make them, so you try them, and they're really good. They taste like mud cake. So it was a recipe that I was really surprised by. So I thought, well, may as well do those as well. Now, that's all in there, looking really tidy. Okay. So I'm going to cover it with cling film and pop it in the Varoma. Now it wants me to clean the mixing bowl. I'm just going to give it a real quick rinse. I'm not going to do too much with it. I don't think it'll matter if it has a little bit of mixture in there because it's only going to ask for 500 grams of water. There we go. Marion, do you have a Thermomix? No, cool. All right, so I'm going to put the lid on. And then pop my Varoma on here. And then I'm going to cover this with cling film. So I'm going to grab that from the pantry.
No matter how much you try to prepare for a cooking experience, there's always something I forgot to grab or something I forgot to put out.
Always something. My aim is always to make sure that my pantry stays closed. Because I'm not the most organised of people, I have to say. I know where everything is. That's all that matters, isn't it? All right, so that's got some cling wrap over the top. Now that fits perfectly in there.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah.
Pop the lid
it's on my wish list.
They're really great. 30 minutes there on those, so we'll turn those on. And then, how long have you got, Vicki?
I have 11 minutes.
Yeah, cool. I've got plenty of time to make my bliss balls. So we'll do those now.
Mine's probably the longest recipe today.
It is. It's just got a couple of steps. But I mean, if you think about it, all that hands-free time that you have, what can you do?
Well, yeah, right now I'd be off cleaning the house or doing a load of washing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I'd usually just stand here and go, so.
And see, this is the thing, everyone asks me, because I have the 2 on my bench, what do you do with 2? Well, what do you do with that extra time? That's the question that we ask. And some people would say, yeah, I bath my kids, or I clean the house, or I do this. And I'm like, well, I want to be cooking because I love cooking. I've always loved cooking. And so I have 10 minutes. Great. I'm going to do something else in my other one.
Yeah.
Very productive.
That's good for us. On Sundays, we do that. On Sundays, I'll do like a big cook up for the week, and I've got, something cooking in one, something cooking in the other. It takes me about 2 hours to do my whole cook up for the week, where it used to take me like the whole day.
It's so great. So great. So coconut and beetroot balls. Just press start. Now this uses raw beetroots. Once again, another reason why I was a bit of a skeptic. So I was like, really? Like, 210 grams of those, which I've already cut up here. And that's why my hands are a little bit pink. 210. Now, I don't know how you go with dates, Vicky. Is that something that's, because I know the sugar thing is it natural sugar is okay, or is it?
Yeah, natural sugar is fine. I just react to, I react to kind of any kind of sugar that creates an insulin response.
Yeah, and look, there's 12 dates in there, so there's a fair few, but
yeah,
better for
so
kids.
I'm supposed to use dates today, but I'm actually using prunes instead.
Yeah, perfect. Whatever works. Yeah, you can definitely substitute. And the thing is, the Thermomix isn't in charge of you. It might be doing guided cooking, but you are still in charge. And if you prefer, golden syrup to honey, you can do that. If you prefer a green apple to a red, you can do that. There's all sorts of things that you can play with. I mean, when you're baking, there's always, room for error with that because you want to be pretty spot on. But you do have the ability to change things. So that's 130 grams of desiccated coconut straight in, and 80 grams of raw cashews. So the nuts in our house is something that we do have to be mindful of. My husband has a peanut allergy, and then my son has a nut allergy as well. But he can eat cashews. My son can eat cashews. My husband won't, but cashews are great. But, if you could only eat almonds would work too. So just depending on different dietary requirements, but 80 grams of raw cashews. I was very excited when Archie could eat cashews because it sort of opens up.
You could probably put in like dried chickpeas or something as well.
Yeah, the other thing that you can do is sunflower seeds. Is a great yeah. Don't worry, I learnt all of the substitutes. It was a whole new ball game for me, that's for sure. 2 tablespoons of cacao, so I've got that there. And I'm using just a soup spoon. I'm not really good at measuring properly. All right. And a half a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste, which I have here. And once again, I'm not going to dirty a teaspoon, I can guess. All right, and then I'm just going to pop the lid on. And that lid there. And next. And then this is going to be noisy, so you won't be able to hear me, but 15 seconds on speed 7. So we're going to chop it up.
Really wasn't that noisy.
Well, the Zoom actually mutes it.
Oh, does it?
Right. It's really good for that. So it's saying to place extra desiccated coconut onto a plate and set aside, and then we're going to mix them into balls. But I'll just show you that there. It's a really nice bright colour. Sorry, that light's not hitting it very well, but it's a really nice colour there. But yeah, it really does taste like mud cake, which is pretty good in my book. So all you have to do is roll those out, which I can do. What I might do is share my screen for a second. Because how long have you got, Vicki?
I have still 6 minutes.
Cool. Okay, let's just run through some of what we've got happening this month. Now, my computer's a bit slow at the moment, so just bear with me while hopefully it...
All those Zoom meetings you've been having.
Oh, mate, there is so much stuff that I have on this computer, and I never ever used computers before, so it's shocking, anyway. So the offers at the moment, we're about to have a period where we can offer you a choice. So we've got the barbecue bundle at the moment, which is the Meter Plus, which is a wireless meat thermometer, as well as the barbecue cookbook and the sliding barbecue skewers. Now the meter itself is worth $199. So adding that on for $49, it's a real bargain. However, next month, as well as coming up to this Tuesday when it goes live, we also have available next month's purchase offer, which is actually a free offer. So you purchase a Thermomix, you get this for free. So it's the Meals in a Flash cookbook, and it's also a kitchen toolkit. Now, the kitchen toolkit used to be only for consultants. Now it is for they are available in the mix shop now, but they're a really great kit. They're worth about $119, and they've just got some really great knives, a peeler and a fruit scoop or an ice cream scoop, and some really great like kitchen shears as well. And the Meals in a Flash cookbook is brilliant for families, brilliant for people who are time poor. Everything in that book is done in under 40 minutes. And there is desserts, there's breakfast, there's lunches, there's dinners. There is so many things in this cookbook, and it also in the book itself, because all the recipes are available on Cookie Do with your subscription, which you get 6 months free when you purchase a Thermomix. But the beauty of the book is that it has a whole bunch of menu planning tips and some time-saving tips as well, which is really great. But yeah, Meals in a Flash is definitely one of my go-to collections when I'm trying to cook dinner, because, you know, as much as I love cooking and I've got all sorts of things happening, it's definitely time poor is one of my things. The other thing is, if you join our team this month, yes, it's this month in September, then also, as well as your business kit, which is great value, all of the things that you can see there on the screen, as well as the Creating Something Incredible cookbook, which is our latest cookbook, and it's a real page turner. It's a beautiful cookbook, and Thermomix has been in Australia for 20 years this year, so that's why we brought out this cookbook. It's got all the history of Thermomix and how Thermomix came to Australia with Grace, who is our CEO and a really inspirational woman, and it's got a lot of collaboration with some really famous chefs as well in the cookbook, so you get that for free as well if you join the team and want to become a consultant, which we are always looking for people, whether it's down here or elsewhere. And the other thing is that if you have a cooking experience, you are eligible for host rewards. So say you came along today and you brought 2 friends, you would then be eligible for a host reward. You would get one of these items on the screen discounted if your friend also purchased. So it's something to keep in mind in the future. If you have friends that are interested, you know, if you host a party, then you will end up getting a host reward for free. So a thermo server, which is great, it keeps everything warm for about 2 hours, so that you can keep it on the bench if you've got people that are in and out for dinner and not eating at the same time. Super helpful for that. And then I just shove them in my fridge. They're great for just storing all my leftovers, because there's always leftovers when you're only feeding 2 adults. But you can also get the bread mats as well. So I'll take that away now, because we don't need to keep that. That's just all the information. I've just thrown that at you. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, because that is what we're here for. All right, Vicki, how long have you got now?
I have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Perfect. So we'll go back onto Vicki. What I'll do is I will unpin myself. So you can see the steam on my varoma there. That's steaming the puddings up nicely. And we'll add a spotlight to Vicki. And then I'm going to roll my balls while Vicki's chatting away. But I will also quit my recipe here so I can follow back along with Vicki's and show you what's going on.
Yep. So I'm up to step 6.
Perfect.
And have 55 seconds left.
Oh, well, that'll give me good timing to bust.
That'll give you enough time to get back on. And
Goodness.
So I actually love aroma cooking, because it means everything gets cooked in one place, and that's all I have to throw in the dishwasher.
Absolutely. Oh, goodness. Now you can search everything on the screen on the TM6, as long as you don't have clumsy fingers like me.
It's like trying to type on your phone, isn't it?
It can be. It can be. There we are. Okay, so Yes, and we'll go to step 6. There we are.
Okay, just in time. Okay, so I'm gonna pop my lid off that way so I don't burn myself with steam. I'm gonna take my varoma off, and one thing I really love is that the lid then becomes a base so that all of your liquids can kind of drain into there. Okay, so we've set that aside, and next we're going to empty the mixing bowl, which has boiling water in it. So do that quickly. Okay. Back on. Dry the mixing bowl. Okay, well. I'm actually going to cheat because I have another clean mixing bowl. So instead of trying to dry my bowl, I'm just going to get a clean one and pop that on.
To have the second bowl, but if you did want to become a consultant, then that's another way that you can earn the second mixing bowl. They're worth $3.75 because they've got the blade in there, which is solid and steel. All of those parts are quite expensive, which is why it is that big cost. However, earning it as a consultant is definitely an option, and if not, it is a great investment for the Thermomix, because yeah, once it's asking you to clean it, don't worry about that, just get the new one.
Yeah. So I am preheating, I've just preheated the oven, which we're preheating to 160 degrees. And it says to grease and line my tin. I did that beforehand, so I wouldn't take up too much time. And so we're just going to fast forward to putting in 100 grams of butter. We're going to put in the dates, or in my case, I'm putting in prunes. And we're going to insert the measuring cup, pop the lid on, pop the measuring cup in, and we're going to chop that all up for 10 seconds. It's got to be a bit loud. That's kind of just mushed that up for me. So I'm going to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl just to push all that back down again. And we're going to go next, and we are going to pop in the apple and sweet potato. I'm so hoping this tastes like mud cake.
It's really good to curb your sweet tooth, that one. I found it really helpful when I've done some healthy eating in the past.
Right, so we're popping the lid back on, and we are going to chop it all up for 10 seconds.
So if you're just joining us, we're doing the sweet potato and the chocolate sweet potato slice. So that's what Vicky's working on at the moment. I've also got some individual vanilla cakes with raspberry jam topping, which is steaming in my varoma at the moment. And I'm also currently just making some little beetroot and coconut balls here.
And actually, that smells really good already. I'm actually quite. So you can see that's just mix that into a batter now. Scrape down the sides of the bowl, and I'm going to insert my measuring cup again. Pop my lid back on again, and then we're going to mix that again for another 10 seconds. And once that's done, it's just made it a very like smooth batter mixture. So it's taken all the chunks out of it, so it's nice and smooth. And if you're not happy with how smooth it is, you can repeat that step. You can just go back and repeat the step, but I'm happy with that the way it is. So I'm going to add my eggs. So it's calling for 2 eggs. 80 grams of coconut flour. Okay. 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, which I already have here. My baking powder is gluten-free, but of course you can use the normal one. And it did say raw cocoa, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just going to use cocoa powder.
So with the coconut, so we've just had a question, what can you substitute the coconut flour with? I would say you could substitute it with any sort of flour. This recipe is gluten-free, so that's why it's sticking with the coconut flour, and obviously that taste would complement what's going on in the dish. But you could definitely, I would say, tapioca flour would probably work okay if you wanted to keep it gluten-free. But yeah, give it a shot with plain flour as well if that's, if you don't have those intolerances.
I would, with coconut flour though, I would really make sure that you read a conversion chart, because coconut flour absorbs a lot of moisture, and it is a little bit different to other flours. Yeah. So you, just check the conversion chart, and you'll know how much of something else you can put in.
Yeah,
I got stuck on that one, so I tried to do a cup for cup once with coconut flour because I thought that's how it worked, and my cake turned out very badly.
Okay, well, I'm glad you know that, because I did not know that. So this Vicki's the expert on that, because I am not. I usually just Google things. Google is your best friend. What can I substitute this with? That usually tells you.
All right, so I'm putting in a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. And I'm going to make a mess with it. It's all right, I'm going to smell like vanilla for the rest of the day. I don't mind that.
Not a bad thing to smell like.
Not at all. Okay, and we're going to pop the lid back on, and we're going to mix all that in for 10 seconds.
So Vicki's going to smell like vanilla, and I'm going to look like a beetroot. Caught red-handed.
Now, if you don't have vanilla bean paste, you can just use vanilla essence. You don't have to buy the paste, but I kind of feel like it just tastes better.
It's a bit of a luxury, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is a luxury, but depends on the recipe. Sometimes I'll just substitute with vanilla essence if I'm not wanting to use an expensive ingredient.
Or if you don't want to go to the shops to pick it up because you're in lockdown.
Exactly.
We've become really good at substituting things during lockdown, haven't we? The things that we can't get because the shops don't have them.
Well, that's what I did this morning. So I'm not going to the shop just to buy some dates. Okay, so I've scraped down the bowl. I'm going to pop the lid back on. And we are going to mix again for 10 seconds.
So it's a nice smooth mixture, and that's what makes it really brownie-like. But it is a really great recipe, that one. Because if you think about it, the only sweetener that you have in it is the apple and the dates or the prunes in Vicki's case. So that's nice, healthy sweetness.
And it actually smells like a chocolate cake right now, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, scatter 2 to 3 teaspoons of chocolate chips. So I have special sugar-free chocolate chips. Because,
Are they the no-shoe ones or the Panna chocolate ones?
They are, I can show you. I actually have Sweet William ones.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they actually taste pretty good. I've tried a few. So we're
Sweet
gonna...
William is a good dairy-free chocolate too, I think, because my son, once again, he's back on dairy now, but he was off dairy for a while. And they did Easter eggs and stuff, which was really good.
Yeah, I like their they've got like a crunchy, like a kind of like a rice crunchy bar. I like that.
Nice, yum.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I must have skipped a step. I did. I'm sorry. I was meant to transfer my mixture into the bowl, and I just went ahead and threw in chocolate chips.
Oh wow.
It's all right. Just more to make it better. So I'm just going to transfer my batter into the bowl. Now it's not so when you do gluten-free cooking, it is a little different. See, a normal batter would be quite runny, where gluten-free batters are usually quite thick and a bit different. When I first started cooking gluten-free, I thought I was doing everything wrong. But it's just a different way of cooking.
It is.
And I have to say, since I got the Thermomix, I have not bought any gluten-free food from the supermarket.
Because it's so expensive too, my goodness.
Super expensive, but always full of sugar in that to cover up the taste of, I guess, whatever else they've put in. But which I never really enjoyed. I always kind of felt they tasted a bit, I don't know, a bit strange. But I've been finding, like, with the Thermomix, most of the food I've been cooking just tastes like regular food, which makes me happy because I do have a sweet tooth and I like treats.
It's just helpful to know what's in things. It means that you're not looking through and, you know, once again, that's the thing that really got me when I had to change over things for my son. Looking through all of those ingredients on the back of a packet, oh my goodness. Especially after never having to do that before. I think I was spending like an average of an hour and a half in the shops just looking for a few things because I had to go through everything. It wasn't just nuts. It wasn't just. It was.
And you got to learn like what the ingredients are, like maltodextrin and stuff like that. You know, I don't think a lot of people know that that's actually gluten disguised as something else, and you kind of got to know all that stuff when you're buying stuff at the supermarket.
And just being knowledgeable about what's in things, because Archer's allergic to eggs, and eggs are really tricky, and they're in things that you sort of don't think of. My husband brought out once, he gave him a fizzer lolly, and they've got egg whites in them, you know, and you just don't think about it, you know, because you're like, oh, a lolly doesn't have egg in it, but yeah, nougat has egg in it. Lots of different things have egg in them, so yeah, it's definitely eye-opening. So I feel for everyone who has food allergies.
Well, that's what I love about the Thermomix. I haven't really had to worry about stuff like that since I got it. And I know exactly what I'm putting in my food, and I already know what flours and stuff I can have. So
exactly, and you can substitute a lot of the recipes that aren't gluten-free, you know, with a little bit of trial and error. It's really great being a part of the Thermomix community. You can reach out and ask your consultant, and if your consultant doesn't know the answer, we go back to our teams and we ask the question, and generally someone will know the answer. You ask me a gluten-free question, I have no idea, but I'm going to go to Vicki or I'm going to go to Sally, who are both gluten-free, and they know the answer. So it's brilliant, you know, whereas they're like, oh, well, I don't bake regular cakes. Lyndall, what do you do? Because, I mean, I looked at my Instagram one day and I was like, it's literally just cakes. That is not good.
All right. So I have put my batter into my tin. I have sprinkled over my chocolate chips. And now I just need to throw that in the oven.
Yep, perfect.
And that will bake for 20 minutes.
It will. And look, that one, it doesn't look like it's cooked when it's cooked, but it's just got that fudgy texture. The sweet potato really works well to keep it nice and moist. Google says 1/3 or 1/4 cup of coconut flour to 1 cup of regular flour, and says to increase the number of eggs due to the absorbency. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. Google's brilliant. Google is brilliant. So I have So Vicky's done that. So we've got 20 minutes there. And just spotlight here. Now, any questions, please pop them in the chat or come off mute and yell them out. My cakes have just got 3 minutes left there. But these are my little coconut beetroot balls. And I'll put those in the fridge because I like my treats cold. I don't like things at room temperature. I like them to be extra, firm. But I'll pop those in. That's only about half of what it's made. I haven't finished because I wanted to stop, so I had to concentrate on what else I was doing. But that's so how many is that? 3, 6, 9, 12. There's about 15 there. So I would say that mixture would make about 30. Brilliant for school lunches. I mean, it's hard if there isn't, if there's a nut-free school, but cashews usually are okay. I know they usually just ban peanuts. I don't know. Have you guys got kids at school? Obviously, Archer's not at school yet. He's only 2. But Vicky, what about at Bega when Ashley went to school? Were they nut-free?
Well, Ash was homeschooled.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. So
she did go to school for a couple of years, and at the school that she went to in Queen Anne, they were actually nut-free, banana-free, all sorts of stuff free, because we had a lot of kids at the school who had multiple allergies. So yeah.
It makes me feel good as an allergy parent because I know that. But there you go, nut-free schools. So once again, you could replace that with sunflower seeds, and sunflower seeds would be a great, sunflower seeds or even pumpkin seeds, although sunflower seeds are a bit softer. They would probably be a good substitute for that. I do have a nut-free bliss ball recipe, and it uses oats, and that's from a Skinny Mixers book. But that's really great too. Skinny Mixers stuff it's an outside book, but it is for the Thermomix as well. And that's just my fridge making noises. But she does great substitutions. So if you can't eat nuts, replace it with this. If you can't eat this, replace it with that. And it's really great knowledge as well that you can then just go, oh, okay, if I don't have that, I can replace it with this. So she does that really well. Nicolene is the lady who writes those books. And there is a couple available on Cookie Do. A couple of her collections are available on Cookie Do, but she has, I think, 10 plus books now. I do have all of them. I like to buy books. So yeah, her recipe is great for schools being nut-free. But yes, so I've got 42 seconds left on my puddings there. Oh, they look really good. Look really good. So that'll be lunch. That's acceptable, isn't it? All right.
That's right. I had an apple for lunch, so I'm going to eat some of my slice for lunch.
The apple's definitely healthier. I think I had some hot chips to go to Archer some hot chips on the way home. We're allowed out. Quick, go.
All right. I feel like mine's kind of like a dinner because it's got potato in it and it's got dates.
That's it. Exactly. It's definitely healthy. Definitely healthy. All right. So that's done. Press next. So carefully remove the aroma, obviously, to stop yourself from getting burnt. You hold the plate up away from you, or the lid up away from you. It wants me to cool for 10 minutes. So I'll just take that off, pop it on the bench there and just let it cool. I'm actually going to take the lid off because that will cool quicker and then I can show you. 10 minutes, carefully remove the cling film and unmold the cakes with a table knife. So I'm just going to flip them over onto a plate, lift them all up, and then I can individually serve them. My in-laws are here working today, so I can feed them and serve warm. So once again, something that you could serve with a pudding, obviously custard. I don't know if you've ever seen custard made in a Thermomix. Has anyone seen custard made in a Thermomix? Marion, do you want to see custard made in a Thermomix? Because we've got 20 minutes. Yeah, cool. Okay. I think I have all the ingredients here. Let me for a second and I'll see what I've got. I might even make a creme anglaise, which is a little bit runnier, or the runny custard, because I think that'll go better with a pudding. But I'll just have a look here. So this is the thing, once again, I've got myself, okay, I've got some time. What can I do? And instantly it's, what else can I cook? That's just me. Oh, anyway, so let's see if I can find it. There we go. So any other questions? I haven't checked the chat box, sorry. It's the best custard ever. Yes. Oh, there you go. And you can also use almond flour in your sweet potato brownie or sweet potato slice. There we go. This is going to take us 10 minutes. I reckon we can manage that. And I'm going to ditch this bowl and swap it for another one. Don't mind me. Because I also am fortunate enough to have several bowls. All right. So I might actually check the recipe detail before I go into that and make sure I've got everything I need. So 4 egg yolks, which I have, 300 grams of milk, also have 50 grams of sugar and 1 vanilla pod, which is a vanilla bean, which I do have also. So I'm going to pop the butterfly whisk in. I used my butterfly whisk before, but I have a couple. I have a whole drawer of accessories there, so I'll use my new one. 4 egg yolks. So you may just have to watch me separate some eggs, but you know. All right. Vicki, what else have you been cooking? Oh, can you hear me?
I have my machine washing at the moment, so I can't hear you.
What else have you been cooking lately?
Me?
Yeah.
I have been making bread for Mum.
Perfect.
She can have regular people bread, so so I want to bake it even though I can't eat it.
You know, that's an act of kindness, isn't it?
It is, but I like doing it. So we made one of the skinny mixer curried sausages the other night, which is really yummy.
Yeah,
really,
good.
really yummy. I love it.
Yeah, perfect.
Ashley's been making, well, we made the honey crumble from last week. Yeah. So that took us a whole week to eat that.
And she liked my lollipop that I dropped off. I dropped her off a lollipop as well.
Yeah, it lasted 5 seconds in my house. But I don't know, what else have we've been, I don't know, we're just cooking it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley's been making weird things in it.
All right, so 300 grams of milk. How many kids do you have, Marion?
I have, what do we got? 6 altogether, I think. Hang on.
Oh my goodness.
So, no, so there's my daughter.
Yeah.
Then there's my husband's 2 kids that are grown up now, and one of them's birthday is today.
Yeah.
And then 3 grandchildren, but I'm raising my 2 grandsons. So
wow.
yeah.
Go
and I
you.
did have my granddaughter for a while, but she's now living somewhere else for the last year.
Yeah, wow.
So yes, I have raised 6 at some point.
Super mum, bloody hell. I struggle with 1. Oh, goodness.
And 3 fur babies.
Oh, well, you know, they are always, you know, They care more about the fact that you care for them, don't they? The fur ones.
Here's one of them.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Can you say hello?
I'm actually surprised that my dogs haven't interrupted us today because they usually do.
He normally sits on a chair at the dining table while I'm sitting here.
Oh, yeah. See, I have a little shadow. His name's Muffin and he's a Pomeranian. And he does not leave my side.
Yeah, I've got 3 toy poodles.
Yeah, little rat dogs. My mother-in-law's got a Shih Tzu poodle and she's the same. She's under you, like you look behind you and you can't see her, but she's that close to you that she's under you. So I'm not going to use the vanilla pot. I'm just going to use some vanilla bean paste. Got it there. Same difference, right? All right.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'm just going to put my lid in. Again, I've got another one there. And next. And then so it's 9 minutes, 80 degrees and speed 2, but it's in reverse. So the Thermomix has the ability of going normally and then clockwise and counterclockwise. So one is to chop, but if you put it in reverse, it's actually just to stir it, so it won't actually blitz it.
Say hello. Can you see? Say hello.
Hello.
Yep. What are you doing, honey bun? What you doing? You okay? Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to, while that's doing that, I'm going to turn out my puddings and hope that they're cool enough to do that.
Have a look at this.
So I'll just show you how they've come up. So they've risen really nicely. And I'm just going to flip them up. Over the top of them even.
That was my littlest one, Dominic.
Oh, he's a cutie.
6.
Oh. They're probably dying to go back to school, are they?
Yep, sure are. I'm dying for them to go back to school too.
I was going to say, even if they're not.
Goodness. And
So
that's
we got
the
2
thing,
weeks.
isn't it? School holidays, yeah. So no home learning. I mean, at least no home learning. But that was the same year. We came out on the Thursday. They were like, quick, everyone go back to school. And they went back to school for 1 day. 2 weeks holidays. I can laugh because my child's not at school, but I felt so sorry for all my friends. I was like, oh, those are rough. Rough lockdown rules, I tell you. So I'm just going to weasel these out. Oh, yum. Okay. These have been on my list of things to do for ages. So I can't see now. But they look great. I'm really happy with those. And look, these molds are pretty foolproof too. Every time I've used them, everything comes out perfectly. I'm just giving them a little bit of love and just doing it sort of gently just to make sure they pop out easily. All right. Okay.
Oh, yum.
I'll hold them up to the camera now. They
Good
look
thing they're not at my house.
They look good.
Yeah, look at those.
Wow.
Perfect. Yeah, look, I mean, I always used to cook, but Thermomix just ups it. You know, if you've got a little bit of skill, it gives you a lot more. It's pretty incredible, really. But yeah, look, you know, they look perfect. And I can't wait to hop into that one actually. And then yes, I've got 5 minutes on my Creme Anglaise, and then we'll be swimming.
Yum.
All right. So any other questions or anything while we've got that waiting? How long have you got, Vicki?
I have about 4 minutes.
Yeah, cool, perfect. So
Yeah.
it's what we've been
So
here
how many
for.
did that make?
It's got 7.
Okay.
7 of them. And look, you could definitely double the mixture. And as I said, I've got the where did I put the other ones? Oh, they're under here, under the cling wrap. You could definitely double it and then have those 6 in the top, because it would sit in the varoma, and then with the tray on top, you could steam them all at the same time. So it wouldn't take you any longer. You would just double your ingredients in the start. So yeah, if you had multiple people to cook for, or say your husband was going to have 2 of the puddings, which mine would, rather than just the one serve, you could definitely do that, and keep those as well. What's some of the other stuff we've done lately? I made them together on Zoom the other day. The white chocolate lemon lava cakes. Did you make those?
Oh,
Vicki?
yum.
No, I didn't make them.
They would be nice.
I had honeycomb.
They're from Meals in a Flash, which is the cookbook that's up for grabs on the 21st with the gift of purchase. And they were amazing. So good. I could have just eaten them and
Pick up your phone.
I dropped it. Remove spotlight, and then we'll pop Vicki on. There we go. But yeah, there's all sorts of things you can do with it. But yeah, 3-course meal. What have we done? So we've done the beetroot balls, we've done the sweet potato slice,
Yep.
done the puddings, and we've got 3 minutes until the creme anglaise is ready. So that's, what did we start at 1:30? So an hour, and you've got 4 things done. And I know that that's over it's over several different Thermomixes. But if you just work in your times, you actually can make that happen. Which is really cool. And that's, it is the beauty of Zoom as well, that we can have 2 people doing it. We can show you all these things in an hour. And I'm always surprised. I always think, oh God, like that took forever. And then I look at the camera and it's like, oh, it's only so that's good. I'm not holding everyone up for several hours. But it's always surprising when you get to cooking with the Thermomix. You go, oh gee, that was quick. That was really quick. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, I find even if it's a long recipe, usually most of the process, the Thermomix is doing its own thing, and I can just go off and do stuff and then come back and you're like, oh, done.
Yeah.
Like my breakfast in the morning, I love having porridge for breakfast. I can eat porridge, but I don't have to stand there for 20 minutes mixing porridge anymore. I just pop in the Thermomix, I go off and get ready for the day, and breakfast is ready. When I'm ready.
Because I know they do the quick porridge and they do them in the individual sachets. They're expensive. And if you put additives in them, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that you don't need. You literally only need oats. And even if you wanted to make it quicker, or you want to make your porridge smoother, and this is what my mum does, she actually blitzes the oats in the Thermomix first, essentially making quick oats, and literally just, from your dollar oats from Woolies. It's 11 minutes and your porridge is done, but that 11 minutes is you just walking away. So you can jump in the shower, you can feed, I'll feed Archer when I'm doing that, or change him or whatever I'm doing, and it tastes like my grandma used to soak her porridge overnight and then cook it on the stove in the morning. And when I made the Thermomix one, I almost cried because it just tasted like hers. It reminded me of my grandma. And she's still here, but I can't see her at the moment. And she doesn't cook for us anymore. She's in a nursing home. But, it tasted like her porridge. Like it had been looked after, soaked overnight, done all these things. And it literally was just the Thermomix doing it. It is. Yeah. Some of the most basic stuff is actually the best stuff, Even if you run out of something, you can type it into Cookie Doo and it'll probably have a substitution. If you run out of butter, you can make butter with cream. All those things that are actually easy, but it helps. Even if you run out of flour, or like last year when the shops ran out of flour because of lockdown, we all went to the Whole Foods and got wheat grain, and you actually make your own flour because it mills down the flour, you know, so you can actually do these things without worrying about it. You know, things like oat flour, all of those flours cost so much money in those tiny little things, and you can make your own. And it makes a huge difference. Even like if you're using almond milk or soy milk, you can make your own soy milk. You know, all of those milks are so easy to do in the Thermomix, and it saves so much money and it saves so much time, and all the preservatives. Because in the UHT milk, there's, once again, it's not just almonds and water, which is all that almond milk is, but that's not what's in the UHT packet. Once again, me, mind blown, because I never had to look at those things until I had. All right, so I've got my creme anglaise on too.
Mine is finished.
Yeah, cool. Pull it out. Let's have a look.
Let's see. Okay. Hang on. I'm gonna have to move my.
So just be
I'm gonna have
careful.
to move my camera.
Don't burn yourself.
I'm trying not to.
Yeah, nice. Beautiful. And look, it's, you know, it's hard when you can't taste it. You have to take our word for it.
It smells really, really good, actually. It smells
I don't
chocolatey and coconutty.
Yeah.
Kind of,
really
yeah,
great.
it smells good.
So that's my creme anglaise done. I've got my little thermo jug here, which is similar to the thermo servers, but it's in a jug form. I'm going to do that because I'm going to pack up the kitchen before I feed everyone. And I'm just going to pour that in so that you can actually see that creme anglaise there. So once again, like a runny vanilla custard, but that's going to go perfect with those jam puddings. There you go.
See, while Lyndall was cooking, I've already cleaned my kitchen, so
Winning.
I can just walk away now.
I was just shoving everything in the sink.
Well, I said to Ashley, go empty the dishwasher so I can.
That's a good idea. Great idea. Any other questions, Marion? Anything else we can help you with? No,
it was really good to see. Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
great.
nice.
Yeah.
Cut them in big, thick squares.
No, it looks like a big square, but hang on.
Just cut it in half.
Yeah. Half for Ashley, half for
There
you.
you go.
Perfect.
It does. It smells really delicious. I hope it is.
I think you'll be surprised, Vicki. It's a really great recipe. Once again, skeptical me over here. I was really surprised with those and with these as well. They're really good. And I have to start, you know, now that we are out of lockdown, I'm gonna have to work on those lockdown kilos. Try and pull myself back together. Anyway, that's okay. But yeah, thank you for coming along, and thank you. You know.
Yeah, thank you, Marion, for dropping in.
That's good. Yeah, you're welcome. Really good to see.
Yeah,
and you're baking it.
You've got Vicki's number, I'm sure, so you can chat with
Vicki and I are meeting all the time, aren't we, Vicki?
Good. It's good.
We've got a date again tonight. It's my turn. My turn tonight. So.
Oh, good. Are you doing is it a jewelry party?
No, I do party light.
Yeah, perfect. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm doing
jewelry was last night.
Yeah, jewelry was last night. This is now, and then I'm doing my candle live tonight. So
yeah, awesome. Very good. Well, enjoy that.
Thank you.
And you know, once again, so great that you can do that during lockdown. You know,
for sure.
Many people just can't. I'm a hairdresser in a previous life, and mind you, they're all coming out of the woodworks at the moment. I can't get an appointment with my hairdresser. Can you help me? Anyway, you know,
I haven't had a hairdresser in over a year. So
yeah, all my friends in Canberra, they just like, because hairdressers are busy, they don't stop, and they're all just going nuts. Like, what are we doing? You know, they're being paid from the government, but you know they're just sitting around going, what the hell? Now what? This doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, I used to go to a home, like somebody who had a salon at home. But she couldn't do what I wanted her to do anymore. She's an older hairdresser and just wasn't keeping up with the times. So I ended up leaving there about a year and a half ago. And it's like, I haven't found, and the salons are so expensive.
I used to work in Kingston, and I know.
Ridiculous.
expensive, very expensive. And then I moved down the coast and it was like, you know, almost a third of the price.
Yes, so my hair is quite boring right now compared to what it would normally be. Like this time,
Mine.
last year, I think it was all blue.
Oh, cool.
And then later on earlier this year, I had it brown with a big, nice pink stripe down here. But it's just boring now because